Hi. If you are not affected personally by benzodiazepine withdrawal or pharmaceutical injury, please listen to this. If you are the loved one of somebody who's going through this, who's tapering a benzodiazepine or other pharmaceutical mind-altering drug, please listen to this. I know that the majority of people that are going to watch this video are people who are personally affected by this, and I am begging people who aren't personally affected by this to listen to this. It is a call to action. I am a member of an incredible group of people all over the world, thousands and thousands of people who are going through benzo withdrawal and other pharmaceutical withdrawal. We lost someone this week, someone who was my friend, who was a friend of other people in the group, a beautiful, good-looking, athletic, young man, a 43-year-old man living in New Jersey. He shot himself Tuesday night because of benzodiazepine withdrawal and polypharmacy. He was polydrugged. His name was Bill, and it's rocking us to our core. What I have been screaming about on Facebook and on YouTube is so incredibly serious. It's a human rights tragedy that we are in the midst of, that I am trying to, get the word out about. And my friend Bill's death this week is absolute evidence of that. Please listen to what I have to say. I want to talk about suicide. Nobody wants to talk about suicide. Even in our groups, it's kind of people shy away from, I think, being really honest about it, and for good reason. We don't want to trigger other people and incite other people, and I guess put the idea in their head, but we're all thinking about it. I mean, let's just be honest. One of the symptoms from psych drug withdrawal, benzodiazepine withdrawal in particular, is suicidal ideation. Whether you're in physical pain, whether you're financially secure, whether you have family support, one of the symptoms that happens is that you think about suicide. It's part of the chemistry being in chaos. So all day long, I think about killing myself. That's a truth. I wake up in the morning, many mornings, after a night of horrific, intrusive dreams that are just chemical, twisted, haunting dreams that do nothing but torture me further. I have no relief. It is 24/7 agony. And I wake up in the morning and my first thought will be, how can I kill myself? Because we need an escape. We need it to stop. It's not that we want to die. We want to live. We want to live and not be tortured like this, but we're tortured like this. So the suffering is so severe that somebody like my friend Bill would kill himself. I'm not talking about mental illness. I'm talking about withdrawal. I'm talking about symptoms that are so horrific that you can't bear them, that you can't bear to be alive another minute, that you'd throw your whole life away, your whole beautiful, one precious life away, just to get out of the hell that you're being tortured in. And we don't have the medical community admitting that this is happening. We don't have doctors that we can go to for support or hospitals that we can go to for support. If somebody was to have called, say, the authorities about my friend Bill, he would have been taken to the psych ward and drugged even further. And that's the last thing that he would need, is a further chemical assault on his central nervous system and his brain. He had just finished tapering Klonopin, which I tapered back in 2012. And he was also on 2 other drugs, and I know that that was part of what killed him. Because when I would talk to him, he would talk about how awful it was to be polydrugged, and I would just say, yeah, it's a hell. I mean, what can you say? And I encouraged him to keep going, as everybody else did. What's the call to action? Listen to your loved ones. They are not crazy. They are not imagining that their brain is burning or their spine is burning. They're not imagining the symptoms. I have horrific symptoms. They haunt me daily. I am a prisoner. I'm a prisoner in my apartment. I'm a prisoner in my bed. I'm a prisoner to my computer. I'm a prisoner to my head. My whole life is, I can't even take care of my life. I can't be productive. It's very difficult for me to get things done. We're talking about total life crisis. If you are blessed to have a loved one, if you're going through this and you're blessed to have a loved one or somebody that's supporting you through this, I mean, that's like, it's a gift. To be doing this alone is, I don't think it's possible. I really don't. I know that my friend Bill felt pretty isolated. Support your loved one. Support your friend. If you have a friend going through this, reach out to them. I received a letter this week. It's the second letter that I've received since I've been going through this, from a second friend who basically said that she can't handle benzo withdrawal. She wrote it in the letter. I mean, she has personal reasons. Everybody has personal reasons. I mean, when I talk to anyone who I haven't talked to in a while, they just say, I've been busy. We're all doing our best. Life goes on. Yeah, I understand that. But this is a human rights tragedy. We need support. You need to reach out to somebody who's going through this. You need to check in on them. You need to let them know that they matter. You need to counter the effects of the drugs and the withdrawal with human love. You need to show up. People are not going to be honest about it. They're not going to be telling you. They're going to be shutting down. They're going to be isolating. I called a friend of mine today. I'm worried about her because she's in acute. She just came off of Valium. I called her multiple times today. She hasn't picked up the phone. I'm going to keep calling her. I'm going to keep texting her. We need to be reminded that we still matter, that the world is still here. We need to be tethered. So if you have a loved one or a friend going through this, please show up. Please stop shying away from it because it's, I don't know about that. It's, it's complicated. It's ugly. It's dark. It's negative. It's depressing. It's psych drugs. That's some mental illness BS. Wrong. None of this has anything to do with mental illness. I was put on a benzodiazepine for insomnia during my Lyme disease treatment. I'm far from mentally ill. I mean, if I am mentally ill, it's now because of these drugs. I never was before. This is a very serious situation. People are hurting. They're hurting physically. They're hurting emotionally. They're hurting emotionally in a way that you cannot even imagine. They are tortured alive by their brain. Their thoughts are not their own. I probably couldn't have imagined that before this experience, but I'm living it. Your chemistry is so in chaos. It's so imbalanced. It's so not your own. It's not the chemistry that you were born with. It's altered chemistry. So from head to toe, you can be suffering. I know people who are going out of their minds right now who need relief. They need relief right this second, and there's no relief. So please don't shy away from people who are going through this. Even if you shoot them a text and just tell them, hey, I miss you. Ask them about their taper. Why are people so confused about this and so afraid to reach out? That's what I'm doing right now. If you want to know what's up with my life, I'm tapering. I'm tapering off of 2 pharmaceuticals right now. That's what I have left. I'm going to be doing this for at least another year. So check in and ask me how my taper's going if you care about me, because that's what's going on in my life right now. Is it lame? Yeah, it's fucking lame. Is it boring? I mean, it's my life right now. I'm not, don't forget about people that are going through this. They're trying to survive through this. If your loved one right now is being tortured alive, like if they were being tied to a chair and beat, would you do something to help them? Because that's the equivalent. That's what's happening. Chronic disease and particularly psych drug withdrawal, which is so psychologically tormenting. It's a beating daily. Stop ostracizing us. Stop pushing us aside. We are fighting for our lives. And let's talk about suicide. When I've talked about suicide to people, that's not a solution. Yeah, it is. Of course it's a solution. Why do you think people do it? They're hurting beyond what they can endure. And so they kill themselves to stop the pain. So yes, it is an actual viable solution. So let's start talking about it. When I counsel people who are suicidal, I'm very calm and practical. I'm not calling the cops on them. Let's talk about it. Why are you suicidal? What's hurting you? What's bearing down on you? It's usually a combination of things. Let's dissect them. Let's go through it. Does it take energy to have those conversations? Absolutely. But do you care about this person? Every day since I found out that Bill was dead, like, you know, I get like little moments where it's not in my mind and it just comes right back into my mind. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But yet I can. Because I think about it every day. Because I'm in so much pain. Not just from the withdrawal right now, but from everything that I've lost. How devastating this has been to my life overall. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you have to carry all of that pain with a central nervous system that's not stable. I know that if you haven't been through this, you can't understand what that means, but they're called neuroemotions, right? So they're like emotions on crack. They're like jacked up, exaggerated emotional reactions, but you feel them. That's the way that your brain is behaving on the medication. And you have to mourn the loss of your life and your relationships or your career. I mean, I was counseling someone this morning, same thing. She's realizing how traumatized she is by this whole situation. The better she's getting, the more she's tapering off the drugs and the more restored her true self is, the more she's waking up to the devastation that is her life. I mean, it's overwhelming pain. It's unfortunate, to say the least, that we don't have doctors sitting family members down and explaining to them what is happening to their loved one, that we have to be in this community and that people online know more about tapering off these drugs and what it does to people and how to support them through it than medical professionals do. But that's the state of affairs right now. Those are the conditions that we're in. Hopefully in 10, 20 years, that won't be the situation. Hopefully people who survive this, who are able to go on and do real activism, will get the word out, right? That's the only way that this is going to change, because right now it's not getting back to the medical community. There are some doctors who know that these drugs are dangerous, but the majority of doctors don't know it. I mean, these drugs are being prescribed to children, and doctors think that they're safe, and they're not safe. So that's the deal. We're grassroots right now. We're people supporting people. So can you please support us? Can you please help us through this? Can you like our posts? Like our freaking posts. How about that? How hard is that? Click like. You know, I support people in their happy lives. In your happy, healthy life, I support you. Going through utter freaking hell, I support people all the time. Support me. Going through hell, support me. Like a post, ask questions, learn more, find out more. I mean, at a minimum, it helps it to gain more exposure, right? I mean, I hear all the time people in the community who you know, maybe they have a smaller friend group on Facebook, or maybe they live in a rural area and they're not as socially connected, and they'll post about benzodiazepine withdrawal and nobody will like their posts, and so that disheartens them, you know, and they don't want to do it anymore. So let's remove the stigma. How about that? I'm a human being trying to survive through this. If, you know, I'm able to get through this and I do survive and I'm able to go on with my life, yeah, I'll be posting about this less. I'll be focusing on it less and filling my world with regular living. But this is my life right now. I mean, if you were traveling somewhere and you wanted to stay in touch with people, you know, and you were in some faraway place and you didn't want to be forgotten and you were going to be coming back, that's what this is like. Thank you for listening to this. You know, I didn't have any talking points, but I needed to do something in Bill's name because it's absolutely It's disgusting that he lost his life. And it's not his fault. He was doing the best he could to survive this hell. And I know that he's in peace now, and I have to tell you, most hours of the day, I envy him. That's true. I want to be in peace. I don't want to be suffering like this anymore. I've been suffering like this for so long. It's like insane how long I've been doing this. And every day I'm like, how am I going to go another day? How am I going to stay alive today? And then I just somehow do. And I still have such a long way to go. I don't think people realize how bad it is. So if you are going through this and you're watching this video, feel free to share this video with your family, share it with your friends, try and get a conversation going. The healthier and stronger I get, the more information I'm going to be putting out there and trying to help educate people. There's a ton of people out there at this point doing what I'm doing. Please believe your loved ones. They are hurting tremendously. Please try and understand them. Be kind and be gentle. Thanks for listening.